What if your doctor prescribed you a medication that doesn't exist? Not insurance denied it, not it's on back order, like no company on earth sells it. For millions of people, that's not a thought experiment. That's a Tuesday.
You're listening to Rated RX. Your dose for the day.
I'm Sam with the Rated RX podcast, affiliate of the Pharmacy Podcast Network, here with Robbie and Xavier, and I'm a compounding pharmacist. Please like and subscribe as you listen to our stories. And here as a compounding pharmacist, I legally make medications from scratch for patients who have run out of standard options. When the healthcare system says, sorry, we did our best, I say, all right, man, let's cook it up, a little mortar and pestle. Welcome to my lab. I make drugs the FDA hasn't approved. But before we get up in arms and you guys turn me in, yes, it's legal. Yes, it's regulated. I am not Walter White. I make real drugs for real people that pharma forgot about. So today we're pulling back the curtain on compounding pharmacy, what it is, why it exists, and why a lot of patients would not survive without it. Hopefully you guys haven't experienced medicine in its easiest form. You go to the pharmacy, you pick up a pill, and it works. That's a miracle of modern science. But the entire pharmaceutical system is built on the average patient. And it kind of has to be because they're doing mass production of this stuff. And if you're not average, then you're going to fall through the cracks. So let me tell you about two patients. These are examples. We've got some changes in names here. So we have a Liam and Eleanor. So Liam is 5 years old. He has epilepsy that can be controlled, but only with a specific drug. And without it, his life is at risk. So the problem, the medication only exists commercially as an adult pill. And it sucks for some kids. They just can't do it. So there is a liquid. The problem is the strength is too weak. They got one liquid, one strength. And in this case, it also has red dye number 40, which Liam is severely allergic to. So his parents are offered three choices: a dose that doesn't work, a medication that causes an allergic reaction, or a pill he physically can't take. And the drug exists. So it's sitting out there. You're taking your son in and you can see it sitting there behind the counter, but it's just not going to work. Not going to work for him. And now we look at Eleanor. She's 82, congestive heart failure, absolute legend of a human. But she's on 7 medications, which, at her age can start to be more popular. Some with food, some without, some in the morning, some at night. Arthritis, making it hard to open bottles. That dang pharmacist forgot to put the easy open on this one bottle, and she's struggling. Savior. And, a little exaggeration, but, one missed pill could be putting her back in the hospital or could be causing problems. She's starting to take 6 instead of 7, forgets one of those bottles. And we're having problems there. Those problems right there. And again, the drugs exist to help her system, to help what she's looking for, but it just doesn't work for her. And we're going to cause problems. And these cases aren't rare. You have, again, we were talking kids, infants, even more so, any tablet, cancer patients, feeding tubes. Most common one that I see compounding is medications in oil for feeding tubes. And they pretty much will just completely clog up. Then we got allergies, rare diseases. The doctor's done the legwork. They got the diagnosis. They have the prescription. They got the med that can help them. It's just an unusable medication. And that's where compounding lives. The problem isn't that the drug doesn't exist. It's that the patient doesn't fit the box that it comes in. So what do we actually do? I'm a compounding pharmacist, which basically means I live in the healthcare gray zone, but a very regulated one. Historically, all pharmacists compounded mortar and pestle, raw ingredients, custom meds, and then mass manufacturing came later. So we are traditionally trying to help a patient individually, and then big pharma shows up. And, what if we made one pill for everyone? And it's kind of the name of the game. They got to do it that way. There's so many people, so many pills. That's the only real feasible way to do it. And again, it just can make it tough for people. So Think of these mass-produced drugs like off-the-rack suits. They fit most people, kind of. And I remember Xavier's suit at his wedding. That was prime. That was bespoke, and that's compounding right there.
Made just for him.
So we can change doses. We can turn pills into liquid, remove dyes, fillers, preservatives, combine meds, create forms that don't exist commercially. So let's get to that scary headline that everyone probably have heard. The final compound, or any compound that we make, is not FDA approved. When we're compounding with clinics or clinics call in, that's one thing that they always bring is, the commercial product that has this, they told us that you aren't FDA approved or FDA regulated. That's not an FDA product. And that statement is 100% true. As soon as we take a single tablet and crush it, change a single thing, it is now considered an adulterated product. And yeah, it's a scary word. It's a scary thing to blanket everything in, but that's literally what it means. And once you explain it to the clinics, it makes a lot more sense to them. So instead of those clinical trials, the process is regulated. There are FDA registered ingredients, suppliers, state board oversight, USP, safety and sterility standards, clinical justifications required from providers. So if we go back to Liam's example, the neurologist sends us a script essentially saying, unable to swallow pills, allergic to red dye number 40, please compound dye-free liquid. So that can be kind of the basis that we start off. So it can start with some math, calculating, usually always off weight, age, safety margins, what sort of dose we're kind of looking for, what we can even get a hold of. And then it's formulation science. So will they dissolve? What kind of base do we have to do? How stable? How long can it be stable? We want this kid on this long term. Well, we can only make something that lasts for 5 days, 10 days. That's also not going to be a very effective drug for Liam. And then for kids itself, is it going to taste bad? Are we going to find some flavor? Is it going to be a weird texture? Again, are we even going to be able to get that patient, and are we going to get Liam, a kid, to take this med? So before we can proceed or make things from there, we got to call the clinic. We kind of walk through it, kind of talk as a team, because they also, don't know what we can make and what the options are. They got an idea on their end as well, what they think can help Liam, and we're trying to find something in the middle there. So now to Eleanor, we are back to those multiple meds. We got 7 here that she's taken, and we're looking to put this into one capsule. On the surface, that seems easy, but you start looking at chemistry, and of course it says absolutely not. Turns out only 6 of them can go together, and so we've got at least 6 of these we can combine, so we got to call the cardiologist and be, hey, what if we can make one capsule with 6 meds and a tiny capsule for the last one? So now 7 pills become 2. Medication doesn't work if the patient can't realistically take it. So now the lab. It's not chaotic, not dramatic. Again, no Walter White out there. Rather boring in the best way. Ultra precise balances, capsule machines, ointment mills, and yes, of course, mortar and pestles. So for Liam, medication, the precision matters. We weigh active ingredients, logging lot numbers, expiration dating, geometric dilution, and mixing every single little milliliter just to make sure that every dose is exact for Liam. Last, adding that flavor, sugar-free, dye-free, bottle, label, and now Liam has his med that can literally save his life. And now to Eleanor's capsules. 6 powders, mixed carefully. Again, that geometric dilution. Loading capsules, 7 become 2. That's not convenience, that's independence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can give a patient isn't a new drug, it's fewer bottles. Everything we've talked about so far is non-sterile. So now we move into sterile compounding, whole different universe. And that's my wheelhouse, that I do run a sterile department. So a lot of sterile meds that I have to deal with, getting those injectables, eye drops going. We've got clean rooms, HEPA filters, again, excessive PPE. And then for our compounding, it's considered high risk, where we're using raw ingredients or non-sterile powders. So in our case, pretty much everything that comes into there, besides the powder, has to be sterile. So we have to sterilize all our hairnets, masks, shoe covers, everything, trying to limit any risk of going in there for our sterile room. Every movement deliberate, and then mixed and inspected for that safety. This is invisible medicine, but without it, at-home infusions don't exist. Sterile compounding, one mistake isn't an oops, it can be a catastrophe. And nothing leaves without a second pharmacist checking everything. So it's either being done ahead or a tech's doing it, and then again it gets checked again, both with us, and I know same with hospital, with Zay, where everything gets looked at again, math gets rechecked, ingredients rechecked, lot numbers, final product, and then the label, beyond use dating, not an expiration date, shorter, honest, more concerned with risk with patients because these are being compounded there, and that's where that regulation part comes in. And then for me, part of that favorite part is the counseling, but being able to explain to Liam's parents that we do have a solution to help them. Watching Eleanor realize that she only has 2 capsules now, and that's freedom of remembering the meds. And that moment, that's the job. That's the payoff. Sometimes it's hard, but still getting up, not getting that super early. I think Robbie, you do get up pretty early.
I do.
So got that early bedtime. Getting old. But compounding is that ancient art that's meeting modern science. So we're not replacing big pharma. We're filling the gaps. We make the drugs that don't exist so patients can have lives that do. Sometimes the best medicine isn't invented yet. It's just hasn't been compounded. And if you've ever been told, sorry, there's no options left, ask about compounding. So remember, we can do those helpful things, not just me as a compounding pharmacist, but these other pharmacists, they can also be able to think outside the box, get things that you might normally be able to get, and they want to help you. But in our case for compounding, custom dosing, those allergies, changes in forms, capsules, liquids, feeding tubes, custom combos, it doesn't hurt to ask. People call all the time asking if there's something that we can do for them. And a lot of time we are able to help, or at least have more knowledge than a retail pharmacy that maybe hasn't even seen a med or a certain form that we're able to work with. So thank you all for listening. This is the Rated RX podcast. If this episode taught you something new, please share it, like, and subscribe. I'm Sam with Xavier and Robbie. Peace out.